The unexamined life is not worth living. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. To find yourself, think for yourself. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Wisdom begins in wonder. Be as you wish to seem. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. An unexamined life is not worth living for a human being. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. Let him that would move the world first move himself. Prefer knowledge to wealth, for the one is transitory, the other perpetual. Worthless people live only to eat and drink. People of worth eat and drink only to live. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. Envy is the ulcer of the soul. The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when thou art in, continue firm and constant. We cannot live better than in seeking to become better. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. I know nothing except the fact of my ignorance. Regard your good name as the richest jewel you can possibly be possessed of. The hottest love has the coldest end. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. From the deepest desires often come the deadliest hate. Do not do to others what angers you, if done to you by others. One thing I know is that I know nothing. Sometimes you put walls up, not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. When the debate is over, slander becomes the tool of the loser. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. An honest man is always a child. Understanding a question is half an answer. To fear death, my friends, is only to think ourselves wise without being wise, for it is to think that we know what we do not know. Nature has given us 2 ears, 2 eyes, and but 1 tongue, to the end that we should hear and see more than we speak. Once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. All men's souls are immortal, but the souls of the righteous are immortal and divine. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Not life, but good life, is to be chiefly valued. There is no illness of the body apart from the mind. Think not those faithful who praise all thy words and actions, but those who kindly reprove thy faults. If all misfortunes were laid in one common heap, whence everyone must take an equal portion, most people would be content to take their own and depart. He who would be a leader must be a bridge. The envious person grows lean with the fatness of their neighbor. We gain our first measure of intelligence when we first admit our own ignorance. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. Virtue does not come from wealth, but wealth, and every other good thing which men have, comes from virtue. It is better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong one. To move the world, we must first move ourselves. Remember that there is nothing stable in human affairs. Therefore, avoid undue elation in prosperity, or undue depression in adversity. An education obtained with money is worse than no education at all. I was really too honest a man to be a politician and live. If a man is proud of his wealth, he should not be praised until it is known how he employs it. The greatest blessing granted to mankind comes by way of madness, which is a divine gift. Mankind is made of 2 kinds of people: wise people who know they're fools, and fools who think they are wise. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. Bad men live that they may eat and drink, whereas good men eat and drink that they may live. Only the extremely ignorant or the extremely intelligent can resist change. I pray thee, O God, that I may be beautiful within. No one knows whether death may not be the greatest of all blessings for a man, yet men fear it as if they knew that it is the greatest of evils. I know you won't believe me, but the highest form of human excellence is to question oneself and others. In childhood, be modest, in youth temperate, in adulthood just, and in old age prudent. Be of good cheer about death, and know this as a truth, that no evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. The greatest of all mysteries is man himself. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. An hour of play discovers more than a year of conversation. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. Falling down is not a failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen. Crito, we owe a cock to Asclepius. Please pay it, and don't forget. It is not living that matters, but living rightly. As for me, all I know is that I know nothing. The nearest way to glory is to strive to be what you wish to be thought to be. A multitude of books distracts the mind. By all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. True perfection is a bold quest to seek. Give me beauty in the inward soul. May the outward and the inward man be at one. The soul, like the body, accepts by practice whatever habit one wishes it to become accustomed to. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Every action has its pleasures and its price. When you want wisdom and insight as badly as you want to breathe, it is then you shall have it. Life contains but two tragedies. One is not to get your heart's desire, the other is to get it. Understanding a question is half of the answer. The fewer our wants, the more we resemble the gods. I would rather die having spoken after my manner than speak in your manner and live. It is not difficult to avoid death, gentlemen. It is much more difficult to avoid wickedness, for it runs faster than death. No man is capable of causing great evil without thinking that what he is doing is right. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. A life without inquiry is not worth living. I know nothing except the fact of my ignorance. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Living well and beautifully and justly are all one thing. Let us follow the evidence, and wherever it leads, let us go. Injustice may be avoided only if those who are not injured feel as indignant as those who are. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. It is not length of life, but depth of life. Wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you'd have preferred to talk. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. The unexamined life is not worth living. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. It is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. The best way to predict the future is to create it. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. To thine own self be true. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Experience is not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. A friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Walk beside me. Just be my friend. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. To succeed in life, you need 2 things: ignorance and confidence. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. It is never too late to be what you might have been. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Don't gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver or gold. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. If you're going through hell, keep going. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. It takes a great deal of courage to see the world in all its tainted glory and still to love it. To love and be loved is to feel the sun from both sides. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. You must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. People are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. Life is 10% what happens to us, and 90% how we react to it. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often, we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one that has been opened for us. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Action is the foundational key to all success. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. A year from now, you may wish you had started today. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. It is not length of life, but depth of life. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. The best way out is always through. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. It's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Be not afraid of going slowly, be afraid only of standing still. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. Life is 10% what happens to us, and 90% how we react to it. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Dream big and dare to fail. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. What seems to us as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Don't count the days, make the days count. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived, and lived well. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits. It always seems impossible until it's done. Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Success is not in what you have, but who you are. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. The best revenge is massive success. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. To succeed in life, you need 3 things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. The power of imagination makes us infinite. There is no substitute for hard work. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Success isn't measured by money or power or social rank. Success is measured by your discipline and inner peace. You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure.